Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I'm bringing my new Blu-ray and DVD shopping guide and reviews for June 6, 2020. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave it a like rating. Now, I have included affiliate links to purchase all these movies down in the description below, and using those links does help support the channel. So I'm a day late this week, guys. I had a little bit of a busy weekend. My daughter had her summer or spring or whatever you call it dance recital, and I was supposed to watch a movie before I went, and I didn't get to it, and I was just running behind on a couple things, so I decided to go ahead and wait an extra day. Please forgive me. Now, unfortunately, I didn't actually get sent any physical titles this week. I was provided with some streaming links and such to watch movies, even though a lot of the pandemic stuff has seemed to be winding down and things have been opening. It seems like movies are really slow. Now, we're going to have some issues because with theaters being closed and movies being delayed, that takes out a huge chunk of new movies being released. And there's still been closures with the places who send stuff for review. And I guess now even riots are causing delays. And there's just a lot going on. I'm going to have a few things for the next week, but it's probably going to be like a lot of streaming link reviews for at least a little while. So first up this week, guys, we have The Hunt. Now, if you guys remember this one, it actually got delayed because of, and I can't remember exactly what it was. There was a shooting that happened, and so they decided to delay this one out of sensitivity. And but it did finally get released. I don't know if this one hit theaters. If it did, it was just there for a short time. And I will be reviewing this one. I think my review copy will actually be here later today, but I don't have it yet. So it is releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Amazon and Walmart, $22.96. Best Buy and Target, $22.99. It is also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart, $17.96. Target, $17.99. And Best Buy, $19.99. Next up is We Summon the Darkness. Now, you guys may recall I did review this one already. I passed on reviewing it again, and then I decided to go ahead and review it again. Now, I did order this one, and I got my copy already. I kind of like the movie. I wanted to have a physical copy of it. I'm a little disappointed that this wasn't a glossy slipcover. But I'll have an unboxing of this probably tomorrow. I don't like to post anything the same day as my review video. So it is releasing on a Blu-ray and digital copy combo pack. Best Buy $14.99, Amazon $16.99, Walmart $17.08, and Target $17.29. It is also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Best Buy $13.99, Target $14.89, and Walmart $15.31. Now, Lionsgate did provide me with a streaming link to review We Summon the Darkness for you. Now, this movie is about this group of three young girls. I don't know if they're teenagers. They're in that kind of late teens, early 20s kind of age range. And this is kind of like a throwback movie to the 80s. And these three girls are going to this kind of a heavy metal concert. And along the way, they hear about these people or person that's been killing in these sadistic rituals or something along that lines. And so on the way, you know, they're just driving and these guys throw a milkshake out of their van and it hits their windshield, and they get kind of angry or whatever, and they get to the concert and they end up finding the same guys, and they end up kind of becoming friends and buddying up to them. And after the concert, they decide they'll all go back to Alexander Daddario's character Alex's house and just kind of continue the party and drink and whatever. And I'll tell you guys right off the bat right now that one of these groups has one or more killers in them. Now, I'm not going to tell you which, but you might be surprised when you find out. Now, the rest of the movie is kind of like a killer where everything goes wrong kind of thing. You know, they're trying to kill the other people, and it's just like everything keeps going wrong. People keep showing up to the house, and they barricade themselves in rooms, and they're just trying to finish these killings. And it does have a little bit of kind of a comedy feel to it. To me, I didn't like that as much, that it was kind of more comedic and silly in its delivery. There is some blood and some gore, and the acting is pretty good. Unfortunately, Johnny Knoxville just has a real small part and doesn't come in till almost the end of the movie. But overall, guys, I did like this movie. I think it's worth checking out. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Next up is Think Like a Dog. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray and digital. Amazon, Best Buy, and Target $14.99, Walmart $17.50. Also releasing on a DVD. Amazon, Best Buy, and Target $13.99, Walmart $15.86. Now, Lionsgate did provide me with a streaming link to review Think Like a Dog for you guys. Now, this one has Josh Duhamel and Megan Fox in it. And in it, their son, he's kind of like a genius inventor, and they're kind of struggling in their relationship, and they're still living together, but they're almost to the point of being separated. He's sleeping on the couch. And so the son invents this thing where you can hear somebody's thoughts, and we'll just say like this whole setup happens so that he fails, and the dad gets offered a job in another city, so he would have to move. So all this stuff is kind of converging all at once. And then there is an accident where the kid can now hear the dog's thoughts. A very, very silly kind of idea. And this movie, to me, it really had a TV movie kind of vibe going on, where the mom and dad are not getting along, but of course they're going to make up before the end of the movie. The kid can hear the dog's thoughts, and the dog is giving him life advice and relationship advice. And there's the tech genius who, of course, has to be an evil mastermind kind of guy in the end. And it's just very stereotypical of things you see in movies. Now, with that being said, guys, I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It had a good story. It was just a really good family-friendly kind of movie where everybody has to learn their lesson in the end, as these things always go. But I thought the acting was good, and like I said, it was a fun movie and really just enjoyable for the whole family to watch together. I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Outback. This one's releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Best Buy $13.99, Walmart $14.76, and Target no listing. Now, Lionsgate did provide me with a streaming link to review Outback. This movie was about this young couple who go on vacation to Australia. To me, the setup of this movie was a little bit long, and it kind of annoyed me a little because they just kind of throw you into this movie, this couple traveling to Australia, and you're not given any of the background. And then throughout the movie, you're like just spoon-fed these little kind of hints at what happened. Basically, at some point, I believe possibly on the flight, he proposes to her and she turns him down. Now, why couldn't they have just had this scene in the movie? Or why couldn't they have just come right out and said it? I don't know. Why was that something that had to be slowly revealed through all these little remarks throughout the movie? But because at first I was like, why did they, if he proposed and she turned him down, why did they still go on this trip together? Because they're like, well, what's going to happen when this is over? Are we done or what? And it was so strange. And then he mentioned something about a flight attendant, and so I'm thinking they were already on their way there, so they really didn't have a lot of choice unless they were going to buy new tickets to go home. And I believe they were American, so they go on this trip. And they're kind of just hanging out on the coast and swimming, and he gets stung by a jellyfish. And then I don't know if they're just going to sleep in their car. They don't have hotel rooms. I don't know what's going on, but they're in their car, and she's like, oh, let's go to this, I don't know what it was, some sort of mountain or giant rock or something. And he didn't really want to, but she's like, oh, we can go to the ocean anywhere. Let's go see this thing. And he looks it up. It's 32 hours away. So he's like, all right. And so they go on their way. And like I say, it's this long buildup to what's going to happen. And so they're on this dirt road in the middle of nowhere, and they realize something about the GPS isn't right. It's telling them to turn around, and they're lost. And so for something about the GPS wasn't working right. It was either routing them the wrong way, or had put them on this road in the middle of nowhere, and they decide they're lost. And for some reason, they decide the best thing to do was to walk up this hill to try to see where they are. I didn't really understand what the point of that was. So they seem to be walking for a ridiculous amount of time, and they get there and it's like night. And so they end up getting lost and they can't find their way back to the car. And that is where the majority of this movie takes place, them just kind of lost in the desert trying to find their way home. Something happens to her, and they end up getting separated, and they're just trying to survive, and they don't have any food or water or anything, and there's no cell phone service. And, it's an interesting idea to have these two people just kind of lost in the desert. And overall, I did kind of like this movie, guys. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. And they do make it out to be based on a true story. I don't know for sure if it is or not, but they did make it out to be based on a true story. Like I said, guys, this movie was all right. I wish they hadn't built up quite so much. It just took a little too long to get into it. But it's definitely worth watching. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Next up, Brian's Song is releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon and Walmart $24.99. Best Buy and Target no listing. Next up is Modern Family Season 11. This is the final season, releasing on a DVD. Walmart $17.96. Best Buy $17.99. Target $22.99. And Amazon no listing. And next thing up, Head of the Class Season 1 is supposed to be releasing on DVD from Warner Brothers. Although I wasn't able to find it listed anywhere but on Walmart's website for $29.99. So I'm not sure if this got delayed or that nobody has it listed for some reason. I honestly don't know. If you guys do see it out there in the wild, let me know. And last thing I do have for you guys, this one is releasing on digital. Now, last up this week, guys, is a movie called You Don't Nomi. Now, RLJE Films did provide me with a streaming link to review You Don't Nomi. And to be honest, at first, I didn't understand why it was spelled Nomi. I was like, I don't know what that means. But this is a documentary based off the film Showgirls. Now, if you guys have seen Showgirls, you'll probably understand the title. I had never seen Showgirls, so I didn't understand what Nomi was. But the main character, played by Elizabeth Berkley, is named Nomi, and that's where they got it from. So this is a documentary, as I said, about Showgirls. Now, I've never seen it. If you've never seen it, it was a movie that came out after Elizabeth Berkley was on Saved by the Bell, and she was kind of trying to grow up her image and become a well-known adult actor instead of a child actor, even though she wasn't like a kid, but she was trying to branch out. And so this movie is about these showgirls who dance semi-nude or something, and it was not well received. It did not do well. All I know is people generally hate it, and it does even actually now have kind of a bit of a cult following. But that was about all I knew. She's a dancer or a stripper. I don't know if you call it a stripper, but not well received. And it's actually from Paul Verhoeven, who did like RoboCop, and he's done a bunch of other movies. And so they definitely go into the movie and what it's about. And a lot of his other movies, they definitely compare it to those. Elizabeth Berkley's career before the movie, so Saved by the Bell, I don't know if she's really been anything after. Other similar kind of stuff. And they just really kind of dive into like stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with the movie, kind of. They're just trying to compare it to other stuff, I guess. I don't know. I didn't understand why. I mean, I would have made this movie about an hour. It was an hour and a half, and I felt like there were a lot of stuff that just wasn't really giving me information about the movie, information I didn't really feel was relevant. But the stuff they did do, I felt was really well done and very enjoyable. Like I said, I've never seen the movie, but it's definitely very interesting to hear about all these different aspects of the production and the backlash from the movie. And they even talked a little bit about things that have come, like a Showgirls musical or Saved by the Bell musical and all this kind of stuff. And they had different people on there, how the movie affected them. And, they had stuff with the director, and he won like all these Razzies for the movie. And, he took it, in good heart and whatnot. But, I thought this was an interesting documentary. I feel like they just made it a little too long for the subject matter. If you guys like documentaries, or if you're interested in Showgirls, definitely check it out. I give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty good. It's just a little long, I think, is the main drawback for the content they had. I don't think it really filled out an hour and a half. But I thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. Be sure to let me know if you guys have seen any of these movies, what you thought of them. If you plan on picking anything up, let me know what it is down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the chess videos, and for more movie news, check out my website, bobsmoviereview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.